Welcome to Coffee and Cleavage. Well, things have been getting pretty good.
I think we're all hot and bothered already because we already discussed what it is that we're talking about today.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should start with what turn off some pet peeves, I guess.
Ooh. Let's
Go
start
with that
with the
and then
turn-offs.
end with the good.
Okay, you want to start with the bad and work to the good.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like bad news before good news,
Turn-offs, like sexual or just in general? Turn-offs?
Everything.
Everything, turn-offs.
Yeah, in general. Pet peeves, for starters.
Ooh, pet
What
peeves.
are some of your pet peeves?
Oh, I'm terrible.
Oh.
I have a few. Okay. One of the things that drives me like the most crazy, and this is really like nitpicky, but I can't stand like bodily hair, like in places,
like
in places where it's not supposed to be. In other words, like the floor or
the toilet seat,
the toilet or the shower. Like I think the shower one absolutely like grosses me out like more than anything. Cause it's like I'm in there and I'm like washing my hair and I'm like getting all clean and you look down and you're like, oh, fucking nasty.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And yeah, that one's just hard to avoid. What about you?
I mean, that's a good one though. For me, I can't stand fingerprints and crumbs on the counter.
Ooh.
I'm like a freak in the kitchen of like
She's
my
a freak
kitchen.
in the kitchen.
Hey,
I bet you are.
That too. No. No, though, I literally cannot stand. That's like one of my. I'm like constantly always cleaning the
Cleaning the
countertops.
counters.
You know,
I like
because
my fucking kitchen clean too.
yeah, I just like clean countertops, and in my house I have a lot of mirrored and glass, so I'm
It's
always,
like extra difficult to keep clean.
It is, and since I have it, I'm like, fuck. Now I have to maintain this shit to make it look good all the time.
That's like me with like stainless steel cleaner, like my fridge and my pretty much all the appliances in my house are stainless steel, so I'm always like, put the stainless steel cleaner and like getting rid of the
Stainless steel's a
fingerprints.
bitch too. It is.
It is. That's so funny. I'm also one of those people that like while I'm cooking, I clean. Like, do you do that, or do you wait until you're all the way
No,
done?
I clean as I go.
As I go, yeah.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck wants to do all that cleaning after you just ate in 15 minutes when you spent like an hour cooking?
Exactly. I'm constantly, if I'm like opening things up, I'm like zipping it up and like putting it away as I'm cleaning. I do the same thing. Put the butter back in the fridge after I'm done buttering, whatever,
My family thinks I'm crazy when I do that for like Thanksgiving. Like literally as I'm cooking, like for holidays and stuff, I'm cleaning the pans and everything as I go.
That's smart, or else you're gonna have a ton of dishes after. No, thank you.
Exactly.
And just do it as you go. It keeps you occupied while you're waiting for your shit to be,
Exactly. So pet peeves, hairs and
peeves.
fingerprints. I do like things tidy,
Yeah.
I'm okay with things not being 100% clean all the time.
Yeah.
Like, disinfected and sparkly.
Yeah, like OCD shit,
But I do really like things organized, and maybe I am a little bit OCD. I don't like things messy, and like if I'm trying to work on something and I'm at home and my space is cluttered, I literally cannot focus on what it is that I need to do until I clean up or organize that space. And I don't even feel like good about the work that I'm doing unless I do that first. Probably means I might be OCD, I don't know.
No,
I like
I
a clear head.
Yeah.
And when my head is clear, then I'm like in tune and I can just like do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I get it. I'm kind of the same way, honestly. But one thing I will say, I'm very organized when it comes to laundry.
Ooh, watch out.
Yeah.
Come over to my house.
No, I'm saying like I'm terrible. Like my clothes will go from the bed to the couch to the bed to the couch, and then my dog will lay on them, and I'm just like, shit.
Oh god.
I'm terrible.
Rewash.
I hate folding clothes, putting them away.
I feel like that's the least favorite part for everyone, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like it's easy to throw them in the washer and then move them from the washer to the dryer, and then
It
at that
is.
point, like sometimes I just leave them in my dryer because I don't want to move
Yeah.
them.
Then you can turn it back on to get the wrinkles out, and
Oh my god.
I know.
We're wild.
We are.
So those are the things that we don't like in regular life. Do you have any like turn offs or pet peeves in the bedroom?
Well, I will say a turn off. I'll say a turn on. and a turn off is hygiene.
Oh yeah.
I'm big on hygiene. You know what I mean? Where if someone's just, I don't know. I love, and a turn on to me is like a really good smelling
good
cologne.
smell.
That shit turns me the fuck on.
And I feel like those two do go hand in hand,
They
because
do.
if smell is linked to, well, I mean, it's linked to memory.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I feel like it could be linked to pleasure as well,
Mm-hmm.
because what is the smell that turns people on? Why can I not think of like the chemical? It has a name. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but
like,
I do not know
they turn
the name.
people on, and it's like a smell. It's like an oil or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a scent.
Yeah.
For lack of
I know what you're
memory.
talking about.
I can't think of the words.
Yeah.
But it's like smells do turn you on.
They do.
You know?
They do.
And it's when something smells good, usually like it tastes good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest,
it's
right? Like if you
true.
smell good smelling food, it usually tastes
You're
good.
yummy.
And
Yeah.
I feel like the same can be said in the bedroom.
Uh-huh.
And if the smell is not good, like you said, then that's going to be a big turn off. Like, and that would be like, you know, maybe they didn't brush their teeth, like
Yeah.
for
yeah.
the day, or
Yeah.
body odors,
Yeah.
or just, you know, different
Just
things. That's
a
definitely a
musty
turn off.
smell in the room, even. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm
let's
big
see.
on smells.
Turn offs. I'm trying to think of some other turn offs for me. I feel like that's a really big one.
It is a big one
Hygiene,
if you think about
because
it.
I mean, it has to smell good.
Yeah, exactly. It has to, or else I don't know. It all goes with setting you in the mood, I guess. Light some damn candles.
Light some damn candles. Turn
Turn on
on.
your air fresheners.
Moods can definitely can add, you know, ambiance and turn you on. Like, and that could be lighting.
I'm all
that
about
could be
lighting.
Mirrors. I know we
Ooh,
talked about mirrors
yes, we
before.
did,
We
yeah.
did.
Uh-huh.
Mirrors, lighting, music. I mean,
Mhm.
music can literally like set the mood or like crush the mood.
100%.
Like somebody
yeah.
turns on, like, imagine like you're getting in the mood and you're feeling all sexy, and they turn on music and you're like, what the fuck is this?
The fuck am I like, what?
Or like the song changes in the middle of when you're being intimate, and it like messes up your rhythm, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what's going on right
Yeah.
now?
Have you ever had a song come on and you just like kind of start laughing when you're in the middle of it?
Yeah, that's
You're
actually
like, oh my
happened to
God,
me
okay.
before. I feel like that has to have happened to everyone, right? You just
Yeah.
have like a playlist on, and then a song comes on, and you're like,
Yeah.
trying to keep a straight face.
You're like, I'm sorry.
Some
this
music is just
song.
not sexy. You need like a sexy time playlist or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Don't just be
Yeah.
on Pandora or some fucking
No.
public radio where the mood is gonna change with every song.
Exactly.
Oh gosh, what
Yeah.
else? Okay, so music, good breath, good smells.
Mm-hmm. Fresh, clean sheets.
Ooh,
I don't
clean
really know.
sheets.
That's like
I
a
mean,
turn
that's-
on. That's just like something.
Yeah, it's
I
just
prefer.
like it. It's a preference, okay? It's not a turn on that your sheets are clean, but she'll
Yeah.
actually be like impressed.
Yeah.
She'll just like take mental note, like,
Uh-huh.
oh, he had clean sheets. They smelled like fucking downy fresh balls.
Well, you could tell, you know, and sheets are like nice and fresh
And crisp.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing worse than like, or this is actually a personal experience, but like, I remember I was dating someone and I went over to their house to like spend the night. It was maybe like the first time that I like slept over, you know. We didn't sleep together, but like I slept there. And his pillow was like, had no pillowcase, and it was like,
What?
it was like yellow. Like,
Oh, what the fuck?
it was like brownish yellow.
It's
And
a
I was
nice
like,
sweater.
I was like, wait a second. First of all, why don't you have a pillowcase? Well, I don't need a pillowcase. And I said, the color, look at the color. It's supposed to be white. And he's like, no, pillows don't come white. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Yes, they do.
Did it have like the imprint stain on it? Like from
I
the
mean,
head
it
laying
wasn't
there,
really
kinda?
like stained looking, like, because you know how like sometimes they get like the water stains or
Yeah.
the sweat stains.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. It was just like overall really dark colored, which means it's like probably really old, right? Like a lot of people don't know you can wash pillows.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
You could put it in the washing machine, like, you know, every
Yeah.
month or every other month or however often you want to wash it. Maybe less if you have one of those like hyperallergenic zippy bags, you know, that like blocks the stuff out of it.
Yeah.
But so it was near Christmas, so I think I bought him a pillow for Christmas. Here's some new pillows for your bed.
To make sure to at least upgrade
that wasn't
it.
like a turn off, but when you said like clean sheets, it reminded me of that because yeah, like women do take notice of things, and like when things are clean and tidy and like it's just nice.
It is nice. It kind of gives you that vibe too, like, okay, this person has their shit together.
Yeah, and like you said, it's just it's attractive. I think to have like some level of like cleanliness, and it's like imagine you go to a guy's house for like a date night or whatever, and it like the whole house like smells like garbage or something. You're probably not gonna want to screw.
Yeah,
you know, like it's gonna be a little gross. Or you go to take a shower and there's like nasty stuff all in the shower. You're like, ew, yeah. Going back to my place.
Exactly.
I feel like a big one for turn-ons, and I know this is probably going to be agreeable, dirty talk.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. I don't know what girl wouldn't be turned on by that. You know?
Maybe some aren't. Like maybe some are uncomfortable with it because they're not like having like familiarized themselves with it. Like I'm pretty positive that my first experiences with dirty talk were kind of awkward for me because I like wasn't sure how to react or like what to say, you know, like ooh, what do I say? But
yeah,
couple dirty books later, and
well, that's why a lot of women like to read those, you know, romance novels,
erotic novels.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of just puts them in the situation and they get turned on by it. I mean, it's
50 Shades of Grey. Did you read it?
I didn't read the books actually. I just watched the movies.
The books are way more intense than
That's
the
what
movies.
I've heard. Yeah.
I only read the first book, and then I was just like, it was so dirty. It really was. It was just a lot more descriptive, and I feel like the movie had to be toned down probably for, you know, America.
Yeah, of course.
Everything has to be toned down and not too inappropriate here.
Yeah.
But yeah, dirty talk can be super hot, and I feel like it can either fucking bring you way up or
bring you down.
Bring you way down. And I just don't really have any like solid advice on how to like make sure that you
say the right shit.
You say the right stuff and at the right time.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe, and I know we've said this many times, but like communication, you know, it is like maybe some people feel weird about communicating about that, but it's like,
yeah.
I just feel like it's necessary to like kind of feel out what what the other person's into, what they're not into.
I feel like communication is huge, and you know, I've been in a long distance relationship before where, I mean, honestly, that's like kind of the perfect opportunity when you sext and dirty talk that way.
Yeah, you get to really feel it out.
You really do. That's like a lot of fun. So I feel like when you, I don't know, I think, and that's a good way to communicate too. I mean, you can dirty talk throughout the day with your significant other, and that can turn you on too. Kind of set the mood for later.
Yeah, set the mood for later. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of like dirty talking texts and FaceTimes and Zooms going on right now.
Yeah.
Literally as we speak, for a lot of people that are in long distance relationships, or a lot of people who can't be together right now because of just the current world status. But yeah, dirty talk. I feel like if both people are really into it, it's just it can be so hot when you're just super descriptive. You know, like tell the other person like what feels good, what, you know, what looks good, like just really just like milk that whole process, because like as a woman, or for me specifically, like I like to hear that.
Me too. We like to hear it. It makes you feel fucking good. I think it really it makes everything better.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It does. It makes things feel better, and it's just like all those things connected, like the sounds that you're hearing, the smells, the things that you're feeling, when all of those just complement each other. Yeah. It's kind of perfect. Yeah. So more dirty talk.
Yeah. More dirty talk leads to more orgasms.
So what do you do if somebody says something when you're in the bedroom that's dirty talk that you're not okay with, or like that you don't know how to like respond to?
That
what would you
definitely
react?
happens.
Or they're like say this or do this, and you're like, does it take you out of the moment?
I mean,
depends.
No, I mean, okay, it could be like, oh, say my name, or oh, call me daddy, you know, like,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine, but I've never really had any awkward ones like that, but, I mean, in the moment, if something is said to you, and you found just like, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know, just keep going and then say it later, I don't know, like, what else do you do? I guess some women would just stop and just go, what the fuck? I don't know.
Some may. I think in the past when something like that has happened to me, I've just like said nothing and just like, you know, just kept going or whatever, just proceed with business as usual, but without like doing what it is that they told me to do or say.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of gone from that point. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I feel like what you say can either like lift you super up or crash you down like so easily. Like, for me, like, when I'm in the moment, that moment is just so precious that it could just so easily go either way. You know, it's like as soon as that was said and then I don't know how to react, I say nothing. It's just like,
meow.
It's like if I had one, it just went down, you know? It's flat. And it's hard to get that back. And I feel like that's true, just like, I feel like that's really true for like female orgasms too. It's like once you're there and once you lose it, it's like,
yep. It's like
it's pretty hard to get back.
Yeah.
You know, once you're in the motion and you're going and things are good and good and good, they get better and better. But as soon as you're like out of it, like mentally, for me, it's like, all right.
It's like, okay, it's gonna take a while
All
for it to come
right,
back now.
it's not gonna go right now.
Yeah.
It's over. I wouldn't say that, but like it's over now. But imagine like, this is a little bit off topic, but like, you know how like when a man is having sex and they're done, usually I would say the majority, and I'm not going to say all because I know some men can keep going past that point, but like when they're done, it's just like it's done, right? And so what I think is interesting is that for women, I feel like women often like continue on past that point for them. Like, yeah, maybe they had an orgasm, but they kept going until their partner was, you know, completed. Completed. But then I feel like for the roles reversed, that when a man is like done, he's kind of done, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah. I mean, might be able to go for a tiny bit longer, and then.
But that's not going to do much for him, clearly. And I feel like for the woman, then, you know, I just wonder, like, what do you do at that point? Like, you're not completely satisfied. You just like finish things yourself.
Or do they like get something out of the nightstand for you?
Yeah, I mean, that would be very thoughtful.
Or do other things too.
Yeah, that would be a huge turn on for me. I guess that's where my mind was kind of going with this, is that like if the man is done and he's satisfied and whatever, but I'm not, and like they can tell that I wanted to keep going, it would be very big turn on to, you know, assist me or ensure that I'm as satisfied after. Like, that would be a huge turn on.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, all right, we're done.
Don't worry, baby, yours is coming.
Have a good night. Seriously. I'm sure that some women can relate with that, you know, maybe some men too. I don't know. I know that some women are just like after one thing and they're just like going to get it and they're done. Yeah. Everybody is different, clearly.
Everyone is different.
But I feel like more often than not in my experiences, it's like, okay, well, that was good.
I guess it goes to the whole thing of if someone is more of a giver or a receiver, like how we've talked about before. You know? How there's like two different sides, and sometimes, I mean, there's people that are both. I know I'm both.
Yeah, I like definitely am both. I feel like there's something to enjoy and get out of both. Like you get something from giving and you get something from receiving. Clearly. Yeah. You know, I couldn't imagine just only being on one side of that.
Yeah, no.
That'd be kind of boring.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
But apparently you also need to be with somebody that is both of those things too. Otherwise, maybe that's when you're feeling, you know, turned off or not completely satisfied, I suppose. Yeah. So I guess that would be a turn off too. Like, if when it's over, I'm not there, that it's just over, then that's kind of a turn off, because you're like, oh, well, yeah, that was good, but
yeah, okay, what about me?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe you don't say that. Some people probably do.
Some people do, probably.
It's so weird finding this balance between like, what to share and what not to share and how like forward to be, because I honestly do think that communication just makes everything better. But there's
Absolutely.
some things that I still find myself not saying, and I'm like, you know, like, say what you're thinking.
Yes, it's important. It really is.
And then you have other people with the opposite problem where like they can't not say everything. You know,
Yeah.
like I have friends that are like that, and they're like, oh, I just can't like zip my mouth, like I just have to say it and it fucks shit up. And I'm like, well, let's just give each other a little bit of each so we can balance each other out.
Yeah. So yes, dirty talk is good, you guys.
I feel like that might be one of the most like in the moment turn ons. You know, obviously all those other things, you know, mood, music, sounds. Oh, sounds. That reminds me.
Oh.
Like for me, I think it's such a turn on to hear a man make sounds
Hell yeah.
during sex.
It makes you feel good.
Like,
Like, all right, you know they're enjoying it.
They're enjoying it. And I know that I feel like some men like might disagree with that, or they might try to like not, and I'm like, no, like just
I don't understand.
be authentic,
that.
be real.
Yeah.
So maybe they think that only women are supposed to be making sounds.
They're trying to feel more manly.
They're trying to feel
but
more
not.
manly, but fuck, it's
Yeah.
it's hot.
It
if
is
somebody
hot.
is like authentically, you know, just
Yeah.
being themselves in the moment. And I think that that's when those sounds or faces or whatever, you know, they come out because they're just being real and like the guard is down.
Yep, absolutely.
Instead of being like reserved and like not making a single
Yeah.
sound and not making a single face, and you're like, is this good?
It's awkward.
Is this good or is this not good? Like, how do I know?
Yeah.
So I feel like the talking and the expressing kind of go together for turning on, because if you're talking and saying things but you're not like physically responding like by your body movements or facial expressions or your sounds, then it's just like,
Yeah, it's, I don't know, it kind of sets the tone of how it's going to be for you too.
exactly,
it
like
is.
it definitely directly impacts how you feel.
It is, yeah.
It does.
Or yeah, it does. I think aside from making noise, eye contact,
Super hot.
hot, very.
It's just so personal, and I just feel like it makes like the connection, you know, like just how we were saying, how like when you're not expressing yourself with your body or with your sounds, all that kind of stuff, eyes play into that too. Like if you're fucking staring at the ceiling or like closing your eyes,
Yeah.
it's like you just don't get to feel that same connection as you do when you're looking at the person. You know, you're like engaging with them, and all those things kind of tie together. Looking at each other, making the sounds, like just being like kind of authentic in the moment.
Exactly. And also even before you get to the bedroom too, when you could just, you know, when you get that look, you know, that's such
look.
a turn on. That look.
Yeah.
You know,
The
or,
look, like the I want you look.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Eye contact is very powerful in many ways.
Yes.
It could also be.
I guess it could also be a turn off, and this is terrible to say that, but like just if it's not authentic, because I feel like if you're genuinely enjoying something and you're connecting even before or during, you can feel it.
You
like
can.
it's real, you know, you're really experiencing something. But if like you're in the moment and somebody's just like literally just staring at you and making no sounds and like making no facial
Kind of
expressions,
creepy. You're like, give me the creeper look right now.
that's maybe when you're also
Makes you
not
feel
looking.
awkward.
Maybe you look away and then there is like no connection inside of that, you know? Like, yeah. Oh man, we're making it sound so complicated.
It does sometimes.
But it's just so many things can just like, you know, make or break you when you're in the moment, or you're trying to be in the moment.
Yeah. It's like just let everything come natural.
And spontaneous
let it all out.
too. Like being spontaneous is hot, I think. Like
It
it is a big
is.
turn on to
Yeah.
just, you know, just have a feeling and just kind of go with it. you know?
Yeah.
I mean, talking about things beforehand is hot too, but I think that sometimes like just being
Spontaneous is the best.
It is, because you're not expecting it and you're not thinking about it
Mm-hmm.
beforehand, and it just happens and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
That was
like,
awesome.
Damn.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, turn-ons. So many.
Oh, yeah.
I still think dirty talk wins, but all of those other things really have to happen to like make it successful.
Yeah. It's like all the perfect combination.
We have a recipe book somewhere. We'll share it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.